I was born to kill it, I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on 5th place. On this one, then 4th on the next. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, you report for the best. She showing love, give me all the raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. I do it for the love, they perform for the checks, and I still get more. They be bored by the rest. I done put the work in, wasn't born in success. See the storm, it affects the performance. But I dance in the rain and the thunder, the drums. So I keep going hard, I won't stop till I'm done. From the bottom to the top, I'm the one. I can drop in a month, I'll be back at the top. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in name, the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save, stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, just that star, spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the brave, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Welcome back, race fans. Saturday night, OP Unlimited Truck Series presented by Buttkicker. Coming to you live from 08 Daytona as we are in the second round of the playoffs, second race of the second round, I should say. Top four going to the final four next week for the championship. We're going to get right into our point standings and see how things are adding up. Dustin Loxton already into the round of four next week, as he had the win last week. Anthony English there in second right now at plus 11. Logan York in third at plus 10, and Peter DeBorgia just above the cut line at plus 3. Then you got Rick Seabrands at minus 3, so he is just the first one below the cut line. Mark Mann at a minus 7. Stephen Miles at a minus 11, and Brandon Pfeiffer there at minus 24, last place. Jeremy out there in chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We already got several people out there. Everett Baker, Everett Grover, Brendan Kennedy, Jeremy out there as well. Was kind of hoping to maybe see Josh tonight. He is back home, thank goodness, after that last little scare, but hope he is doing doing good as well. But we're going to go ahead and get to the most points the last three races. Anthony English at the top there at 128 points. Logan York at 118, as well as Dustin Logston. Peter DeBorgia at 110. Mark Mann at 109. Of course, last week there at Dega, Logston did win that race, so that put him in to the final four. Coming up next week again, second, Anthony English. Third was Logan York. Fourth was Gabe Butler. And fifth was Vicente Guerrero. So we're going to go ahead and get to our pre-race analytics here at 08 Daytona. 8-mile-an-hour wind, 83-degree air temperature, 122-degree track temp. We've got 100 laps tonight, 250 miles. Unlimited tires. Fuel window is at 43%. We're looking at about 12 to 15 laps. Probably start seeing guys come in, probably about the 11, 12 range. If they're able to save fuel, they may be able to squeeze out another lap or two, but right now we're looking at about 12 to 15 laps total. Pit road speed at 55, pace speed at 75. And again, we are here at 08 Daytona, so Old Bumpy Road Daytona, not my favorite track. Difficult track to run because of the bumps. These guys got about 3 minutes of practice left. We're going to get to, well, as you can see up there, we got one fast repair tonight. Unlimited GWCs up to 15 and one qualification lap. Again, special shout out also tonight's race sponsor, Rick Seabrands, the Yeti 250, for this second race of the second round. Got the little graphic down in the lower left-hand corner, Yeti. Built for the Wild. So big shout out to Rick Seabrands for sponsoring tonight's race. And I was going to look and see where we were at for the championship race. Give me just a second. We'll get that pulled up. We'll get that out of the way. And we'll see where we're at next week. For the top 4, the championship 4, we will be at Daytona, New Daytona, next week. That race is sponsored by Buttkicker again. The winner of the season will get a Buttkicker system for their rigs. I know the guys that have talked about it, says it's a great system. Well, that is good to hear. I'm glad he's doing okay. He really needs to follow what they are telling him to do, and I'm pretty sure he does for the most part. As I'm getting messages here. Looking at our upcoming seasons, I know Anthony's got some stuff that he is going to be announcing here soon. Who won the 2008 Bud Shootout? Well, if I followed racing a little bit more, guys, I would probably be able to tell you. 2008. I'm going to go out on a limb there, Everett, and say Johnson. Moose Pie out there in chat. Hi, Moose Pie. How are you doing? Good to see you. Oh, absolutely, Jeremy. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Well, practice is going to checkered. Dale Jr. won it in 2008. Okay. Good little trivia out there. If you come up with any more, be sure you post that. Give our viewers something to chat about. Normally I would do that when Josh was broadcasting because I had time on my hands, but well, now that I'm broadcasting, it's kind of hard to look stuff up. Well, we just want him to rest and get better. Definitely, as we got guys, we're going to go ahead and get on some of our guys here. Anthony English out on the track. Brandon Pfeiffer coming out as well. Stephen Miles sitting on the end of pit road. Stephen McGow on the track as well. Ron Walters out on the track. Alex Green, Doug Johnson. Everett Lane, no relation. C.J. Erdman out on the track as well as Nathan Warren, Vicente Guerrero at the end of pit road. Sean Stevens coming out on the track to get his laps in, or his qualification lap in. So is Peter DeBorgia, Andrew Zonto, and I need to get this started up because I didn't do that either. Get my trading paint started up. Dana Shepard out on the track. Fat Chicks 43. And no, that is not a derogatory remark towards women. That is Fat Chicks Racing Suspensions. And Jimmy Reynolds out on the track as well. Had a good race last night for the Mark Mann's Killing Time Again 250 special race that Mark sponsored and got put together. Had a really good time last night as Anthony English does set the pole time as of right now with a 553 as I don't know what he was thinking, but he just destroyed his truck. But Hunter Reynolds come out and says, I can do you one better by a tenth of a second with a 51.491. Andrew Zonto in third, CJ Erdman fourth right now, Brandon Pfeiffer in fifth. Well, Sean Stevens just come out with a 51.534 to seal it in that second place spot for right now. About 2.5 minutes left to practice. Tufus 1.0, 2.0. That is funny. Yeah, we just I'm ready for Joshua to get better, get back up here on the mic. But until then, you guys are just stuck with me, so not much we could do about that at this point, guys, as Hunter Reynolds is done with his qualification lap. Sean Stevens coming in to the pit road. Sibling rivalries, gotta love them. We're trying to figure out where we're at here. Hang on a second, guys. Again, we'll go ahead and show our standings. Of course, Dustin Loxton with the win last week puts him in to the final championship four. Now it's just going to determine who's going to get the win tonight that is in the playoffs to move on. I know Rick Seabrands is looking for a good race tonight to get him up above that cut line. Mark Mann also, Stephen Miles and Brandon Pfeiffer, pretty much a must-win situation here for those guys. Well, it looks like Hunter Reynolds is going to be our pole sitter. I'll figure out where Hunter is. He is down there in Team 8, so we'll get him up here in just a second. Yep, I hear you, brother. I know we all missed him. All the drivers missed him too, but we're going to go ahead and bring Mr. Hunter Reynolds up into... Where'd he go? Oh. There he is. I actually put him in the wrong room. Hunter, awesome job, man. You got the pole tonight. Man, track temperatures are a little high, but you guys are kind of used to that. How's things feel out there for you tonight, buddy?
Yeah, had some pretty good wind in qualifying, so shout out. It was a pretty good lap too, so pretty happy to get the pole. Yeah, it's a hot one tonight. We're gonna have to manage tires and try not to slide around too much, but it should be a good one tonight with these guys. Gonna try not to wreck any chase drivers while I'm out here, but other than that, we're gonna go for this one.
Well, you know, we got a pretty good field out here. Not as big as we've had in the past for Saturday night. Looking at 34 trucks out there tonight. What's going to be important tonight, brother? I mean, just you know, plate track racing. It's all about the draft. But you know, being out front and avoiding the mess in the back, or what do you got to do?
Yeah, that's my plan. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do is to stay out of the wrecks, is to stay in front of it. So I think one of two things could end up happening tonight is we get some green flag runs and you got to hit a good pit stop and come out with some other trucks, or you know, if we get some caution stuff, it's gonna be managing fuel and not sliding around too much. So hopefully it'll be a good race tonight. I got high hopes and should be a fun one.
All right, brother. Well, congratulations, good luck, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the race, brother.
Appreciate it. Yeah, me too. If not, peace out.
All right. We'll get him back down there to his race room. We're going to go ahead and get our MaxspeedTV starting grid. We'll get the qual times out of the way. Of course, Hunter Reynolds, your pole sitter for tonight in that 26 truck. On the outside of him in row 1 is the 27 of Sean Stevens. Row 2 on the inside, the 85 of Adam Kilday. To his outside, the 8 of Stephen Miles, playoff driver, wanting to get that win tonight to get him into the next round. Starting row 3 on the inside, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. To his outside, the 024 of Everett Lane. Starting row 4, the 841 of Stephen McGow. And his outside is that 44 of Anthony English. Now, you see the P by their name. That means they are a playoff driver. And row 5 on the inside, the 43 of Dana Shepard. To his outside, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Row 6 on the inside, the 59 of John Guerrera. On his outside, the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. Row number 7, the 91 of Logan York. To his outside, the number 3 of Alice Green. Starting row 8 on the inside, the 06 of Andrew Zonto. To his outside, the 963 of C.J. Erdman. Starting row 9 on the inside, the 049 of Nick Wing. His outside, the 388 of Doug Johnson. Row number 10, 36 of Stephen Luttrell starting on that inside line. His outside, the 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer. Row 11 on the inside, the 90 of Ron Walters. To his outside, the number 4 of Rick Seabrands. Starting row number 12, the 088 of Gabe Butler. To his outside, the 151 of Travis Elliott. Starting row 13, the 81 of Dustin Logston. Of course, he won last week, so he's a little bit of pressure off of him. On his outside, the 001 of David Stringle. Starting row 14 on the inside, the 04 of Mark Mann, and to his outside will be the 83 of Shane Posey. Row 15 is the 924 of Zach Payne. To his outside, the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. Row 16 on the inside is the 16 of Nate Warren. His outside is the 978 of Christopher Lewis. And starting row 17, the 47 of Richard Kuhn. His outside is the 984 of Nicholas Self. That's going to round out our field of 34 drivers tonight, folks. As we get to pace car does dive up down on the safety of pit road. Coming to the Geico start zone. Green flag in the air. I guess there ain't no start zone. Boogity, 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 folks. Championship racing or playoff racing here at 08 Daytona. That's bumpy road, or as Jeremy likes to call it, dirty bobblehead, bumpy road Daytona. And I do appreciate everybody out there tuning in. 17 viewers, 3 likes already. Glad everybody could join us. Of course, if you're new to MaxspeedTV or just tuning in, be sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell icon. Let you know every time MaxspeedTV goes live. As we are looking up front, Sean Stevens battling out with Hunter Reynolds. Hunter is going to probably take this lap as we come to the start-finish line. No, Sean Stevens actually gets that lap led. Outside line is trying to form up. Man, you can see those trucks just jumping around in the corners. That is the reason why we call it Bumpy Road Daytona. I have drove this track. Now, the trucks aren't too bad here, I guess, but you still have to make sure that you're gentle on the controls. Looks like David Stringle started on pit road as he is coming out on the track. Going to put him by himself. Get back up towards the front. Sean Stevens did get that lead, another lap led. He is getting a pretty good push there by Stephen Miles. Again, special shout out to Rick Seabrands, our race sponsor for tonight. We're looking back here. Ron Walters in that 90 blue and yellow truck Toyota. Back here behind Rick Seabrands in the 16 of Nate Warren. They are single file pretty much all the way back to the back of the field. We get back here towards the back, and I don't know why it jumped to Hunter Reynolds back here at 34. ATVO is really messing with me tonight. You can, like I said, you can see them trucks really bouncing around. We're gonna go ahead and cockpit here with Hunter and kind of see what they see, especially in the corners as we come into turn 1 and 2. You'll see that truck jump around right there. And then right there, man, it will beat you to death in certain cars. Like I said, the trucks here aren't too bad, but it does. Sean Stevens makes a pretty aggressive move to take that lead away from Hunter. They're coming back to the start-finish line or into turn 1 and 2. These guys are just scooting around the track. Wags out there in chat. How you doing, Wags? Sean Stevens goes down to the apron. He is going to fall back towards the back. Apparently not liking what he was seeing or wasn't comfortable. Get back up on the front. Here, Hunter Reynolds is going to be back in the lead. Stephen Miles to the outside with Everett Lane right behind him. Anthony English also in the mix. Anthony looking for that win as a playoff driver. Now, when I click on their name, you'll see a chase driver above their name. And the P beside their name, that indicates that they are a playoff driver. We are on, to show the differences, we're on Adam Kilday in that MaxspeedTV throwback truck scheme. Got Team Joshua. We're going to take a look at that. That is, where is my chase camera? Look at that beautiful spec matte paint job, MaxspeedTV on the side. Just on the trunk and on the tailgate. And of course, we're going to look at the hood here as best we can. Got Team Joshua on the hood. Everybody is really rooting for Josh right now to get better. We get back out here. Yeah, I may be a nerd and a dork, Wags, but at least I own up to it, buddy. Looking back through the field, everybody is just kind of side-by-side racing all the way back, looking back all the way back to Richard Coon. Everybody kind of got all back together. Alex Green out there on the outside, Christopher Lewis. Showing him in the 978, supposed to be the 978, got 111 on his truck. Ron Walters, Andrew Schroeder, Shane Posey, Gabe Butler. These guys just back here. Nick LaSalle, Stephen McGough. And for some reason, it's got me back to Adam Kilday, but Adam is up towards the front as we get back up here. Looks like we've lost a driver. We had 34 drivers to start. Now we're down to 33. I don't know which driver we lost. Sean Stevens back here in 32nd. As the caution comes out, we're going to take a look at here. Looks like Peter DeBorgia with a meatball flag. So we're going to take a look here, get to my controls, and figure out what happened. Alex Green involved. Looked like it started right there with, oh, that is the 40 of Pete DeBorgia. We're going to see if we can't find Pete here. There he is. One of our chase drivers as we are on his truck. John Guerrero right behind him. Looks like Peter went down, came back up a little bit right in front of John Guerrero, and then right up towards Andrew Schroeder, or I'm sorry, Andrew Zonto. And that just collected several trucks. Zonto was collected. Doug Johnson got a piece of it as well. Doug Johnson, Brandon Pfeiffer, Travis Elliott. Oh, Rick Seabrand's getting tagged by Richard Coon. Looks like Nate Warren might have got involved. There's Alex Green getting a piece of it. Mark Mann, nowhere for Mark to go, or even Chris Lewis. Looks like Chris, though, was able to, I say he was able to save it. He was kind of wobbling around. Dustin Logston as well involved. Well, that's going to help out with some of these guys that were back in the pack. Get back up to the front, so Peter DeBorgia is one of your chase drivers. Your top 5 right now will be Hunter Reynolds, Stephen Miles, Vicente Guerrero, Everett Lane, and Dana Shepard. The 08 Daytona is, of course, what we call bumpy road Daytona. Sometimes that those bumps get the better of drivers, and I think that's what kind of happened. But he got a little loose, went down, came back up, went right across the nose of John Guerrero, and really nothing John could have done differently other than slamming on his brakes. But scraped across the front of John's nose and got Peter DeBorgia all out of line and sent him straight up into the wall. Yeah, we've got a few being used. Looks like Andrew Schroeder had to use his. So did Doug Johnson, Nicholas Self, Mark Mann, Richard Coon. Of course, Peter DeBorgia had to use his, and Andrew Zonto. Guys are coming back down pit road to top off lap 11 of 100. Still a lot of race left to go in this final round, or final race of the second round. Again, you win, you're in. A top 4 advances. Of course, Dustin Logston does already have his ticket punched to the championship 4 with the win last week. He is out there just playing it safe. He is currently back here in 30th spot. Coming off a pit road, so he's trying to get caught up with the group. Pace lights on the pace car are out. We'll dive off down into pit road here shortly as we're coming down the back stretch. Coming up to turns 3 and 4. Again, do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Appreciate everybody out there chatting it up. I'm trying to see who it was we lost, but ATVO was showing 33 drivers still in the race. Sean Stevens back here in 28. Peter's back out on the track. There is Dustin Logston. Andrew Zonto coming back out in 33rd. Trying to get everybody back in line. Pace car will dive off down in the safety of pit road into that start zone. Chevrolet green flag back out, folks. Here we go, back racing. Once again here at 08 Daytona. Of course, big shout out to Bubba Whittingham and Chevrolet.com. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, go to Chevrolet.com, Louisiana. Check out their inventory. You can do all your financing. If you want to finance online, of course they do accept cash, checks, whatever it is that you need to do to get the vehicle purchased. Oh, another wreck. Vicente Guerrero, Adam Kilday. Several trucks involved there. Almost looked like a little bit of a checkup. Go back and take a look at this here, folks. It shows Anthony English, but it actually started up here with the checkup. I think we're going to take a look here and see. Like I said, it took me to Anthony, so we're going to take a look here and see what happened. We see Adam Kilday up there in the front. But it happened up here towards the front with Dana Shepard, Hunter Reynolds. There's Vicente. Not sure if that was neck code or if they just touched. Looks like Jimmy Reynolds was right there on the back of Vicente. As Hunter come down. Oh, had to check up. Dana had to check up because of Hunter coming down. And looked like Vicente may have checked up a little bit, but Jimmy Reynolds got his right rear bumper, and that sent Vicente up into the wall. Of course, Stephen Luttrell involved as well. We're going to get backed out here, folks. I just had an unexpected guest come into my office, my nephew Dylan. Ooh, Jimmy Reynolds up on his side, but several other trucks involved. Anthony English, I believe, got a piece of that as well. Stephen Luttrell, Ron Walters, Anthony English, Adam Kilday. Somehow Christopher Lewis decided to mow the grass. Made it through that as well. Awesome to see my nephew here with me. Dylan, how you been, buddy? It has been. For those that don't know, Dylan has been out. He got his CDLs, have been out driving big trucks across the country. Actually home for the weekend, and decided that he was going to come by and see his old uncle here. But well, man, it's been a while since you've been here. What do you think of the new command center? Well, most people would say I don't, especially Jeremy out there. Jeremy's out there in chat tonight. Of course, we got quite a few people out there tuning in. So, but it's definitely good seeing you, buddy. And you know, we spent the day smoking some meats and got some potato salad and some deviled eggs in there. I already had my dinner, so trying to call this race and keep this thing going. Of course, you know, we were talking about Joshua a little bit ago. He is back home from the hospital again, but he is actually back home right now, resting and trying to recover. So, but we are in our championship playoff round, our second race of the playoffs, in round 2. Our top 8 are battling out for a chance to go to the finals next week. Championship 4. Again, we got, let me pull this back up for our viewers. Of course, Dustin Loxton is in with the win last week. Anthony English, Logan York, Peter DeBorgia, all in the mix right there. Peter is just above the cut line. But then we got Rick Seabrands, Mark Mann, Stephen Miles, and Brandon Pfeiffer. Miles and Pfeiffer is basically a must-win situation for these guys to get moved into the next round. So. Well, Rick and and Mark does if they can finish well enough. But Miles and Pfeiffer, it's pretty much a must-win for those guys in order to move on to the championship 4. So you know, they basically just need to win. But Mark and Rick just need to have a good showing for tonight. Rick currently in 7th place. Now I'm looking for Mark. Mark's back here in 23rd. So still a lot of racing left. We are lap 16 of 100. So we're gonna get back to the actions. We're coming out of 3 and 4. Pace car will dive off down to the safety of pit road once again for the Chevyland.com. Again, Chevyland and down in Shreveport, Louisiana. Of course, if you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, visit Chevyland.com. This is Chevyland.com. Green flag back out once again. We are back on the loud pedal. Looking at our current positioning, David Stringle there, your leader. Andrew Schroeder in 2nd, Stephen Miles in 3rd, Dana Shepard 4th, Chris Lewis in 5th, Alex Green 6th, Travis Elliott in 7th, Rick Seabrand 8th, Warren 9th, and Nicholas Self actually swapped places. Nate Warren back in 10th. Then you got Posey, Jimmy Reynolds, Wing, Stevens, Lane, Logston, Erdman, Hunter Reynolds, Butler, Pfeiffer, Mann, Kuhn, DeBorgia, Walters, Gauss, Johnson, Latrell, Guerrera. Looking back, John Guerrera is back here in the back in 33rd, trying to make up some time, make up some spots. We get back up towards the front, Stringle. Miles down on the inside with that, well, that is supposed to be the 978 of Christopher Lewis. But he is in the 111 truck, so he is trying to push Steven up towards the front as we got another wreck happening right now. That's going to bring out another caution. Let's go back here and take a look at what happened. That was Andrew Schroeder that it took me back to. Looks like maybe a little bit of a bad push from Dana Shepard. But we're going to take a look here and see. Where is my mouse? It jumped to my other monitor. Andrew kind of dipped down. Dana Shepard right behind him. Oh. I don't know. It didn't look. I didn't see any smoke. But we're going to see here. All of a sudden, Andrew Schroeder just lost power, it looked like. Not sure what happened there, but Andrew just completely lost power or something on his truck. I'm not sure if he was having connection issue or control issue with the wheel or something. But he definitely lost power. Unfortunately, he's used his fast repair already. As he does come down to pit road. He does not have a meatball, so he may be able to get damage repaired. We'll see what happens. He is taking tires. Well, we're going to go ahead and talk to Andrew real quick if he'll visit with us. Andrew, Steve up, Book, got a copy there, bud?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, I don't know what happened. It looked like you just lost power on your truck or something.
No, I don't. I was pushing. I guess it was some internet shit because I was pushing David and his truck lifted up in front of me, and then my truck stood up, and Dana. I don't know what happened. I think it was internet. I really do.
Dana was right there on you, but it didn't look like a bad push or anything. You were right there on the. I couldn't remember who it was in front of you. David Stringle was in front of you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, your truck just lurched back like either you had a connection issue or a control issue.
I don't know what that was because I'm looking at it now. It looks like my truck just stopped.
Yeah.
When I got into the back, when I started pushing him, I don't know, dude. Elon might be having a bad night, I guess. I don't know. The Starlink's been great, but I guess sometimes you get some issues like this. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's the worst it's ever been.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's all part of simulation racing. You just never know what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the playoffs, so it's fine. I'm not a fast person. I'm just going to hang out and watch.
Well, you can hang out up here with me and call the race.
Yeah, I gotta pop out for a minute, and then I'll come back up.
Okay.
I'll get you up when I'm ready. You can pull me back up.
All right, sounds good. We'll get you back down.
All right, buddy. Yes, sir.
Oh. I got him back down there, but man, unfortunate for Andrew Schroeder tonight. Having some connection issues, maybe. I mean, the way it looked to me, it looked like he just lost the power plant in his truck. But well, Stephen Miles is your number one right now in the lead. I should say, I almost said winner, but he needs to win in order to move on. Got me a little bit of coffee here. Stephen Miles is your leader. David Stringle to his outside. Christopher Lewis, Alex Green, Rick Seabrand's your top five. Dana Shepard, Nate Warren, Jimmy Reynolds, Brandon Viper, Adam Kilday, rounding out your top 10. Stephen McGough there in 11th. Doug Johnson 12th. Posey in 13th. Ron Walters 14th. Hunter Reynolds in 15th. Yeah, I think it was. I think he runs Starlink, so he may have just had a lag in his connection there. But it was just weird that his truck just basically looked like it shut down on him. Unfortunately, that's all part of simulation. I mean, even myself, I have issues. Now, I will tell you, all you viewers, we got a minute here before we go back green. The Chevrolet green flag back out once again. Here we go, folks. Back on the loud pedal. Stephen Miles gets a jump out there in front of David Stringle with that 111 of, that is Christopher Lewis, actually, in the 978. But we do have some storms building in our area. It could be coming in towards the end of the race. So if for some reason my internet goes out, just know that it's because of storms. Like I said, they are calling for some possible tornadoes forming tonight. with the weather pattern that's out there, there's a very good possibility that we might have some tornadoes here in Oklahoma tonight, but we're keeping an eye on it as well. We get to lap 23, Stephen Miles down there with David Stringle. Now David Stringle does have the lead. Get back up here on him. We're going to kind of look through the field as they are side by side racing all the way back. We're going to look back here to Mr. Mark Mann. And we did this last night, so we're going to try to do this tonight to see if he will visit with us. Our in-race reporter, Mr. Mark Mann. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. I got my hands full right now.
I see that. But 08 Daytona, man, it's a rough track.
Yeah, it's pretty bumpy. And the track is hot tonight. The biggest problem for me was I've already used my quick repair, so I'm trying to race conservatively, but I don't really want to be that far back when we get a green flag pit stop in about 11 laps. So kind of got my way back up here and to the middle, which could be a little bit dangerous with no fast repair, but we'll give it a shot.
All right, buddy. Well, we're not going to keep you any longer. Good luck, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you here in a little bit.
Sounds good, Steven.
We'll get him back down there. Yeah, these guys at Bumpy Road Daytona, I don't want to pull them up a whole lot during the race, just for the simple fact that they do have their hands full with that hot track temperatures. One of our other playoff drivers, Rick Seabrand, is making a run to the outside. Alex Green took the lead away from him. He's got the 001 of David Stringle and the 8 of Stephen Miles right there with him. But here comes another run by Rick Seabrands on that outside with the 16 and 8 Warren, the 54 Brandon Pfeiffer, and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds trying to get that outside line going. Again, Bumpy Road Daytona, man, I'm going to tell you, I do not like this track. This is a track that I would love to see iRacing bulldoze live stream. That's just me. Well, I hope it is, Everett, but, you know, I live right smack dab in the heart of Tornado Alley, so. And typically, I'm the one that's out there chasing those things, so you just never know what's going to happen, you know, with the weather around here. But back to the racing here. Alex Green still on that inside line with David Stringle, the 8 of Stephen Miles, and that 111 is supposed to be the 978 of Christopher Lewis. Ooh, Christopher gets a little bit squirrely there. Comes up the track towards Hunter. Demon Tech 82 out there. What's going on? I believe that is, correct me if I'm wrong, would that be Mr. Daniel that I'm talking to, that I see? I could be wrong, because we're 3 wide. That is Logan York. And the 06 of Andrew Zanto. Well, I hate that you're working, buddy. Had to work late, I understand that. It happens. But our racing don't really pay the bills a whole lot, so you gotta make do with what you got, right? We are still 3 wide. That is David Stringle on the inside, Nate Warren in the middle, and the 91. Logan York on the outside with Andrew Zonto, 3 wide up to the front for the lead. Rick Seabrands is your leader right now. He has led a lap as we're coming into turns 3 and 4. Logan York and Andrew Zonto still back there on that high line, that 3rd lane. Bubba out there. Good to see you, Bubba. as the caution comes out, we're going to take a look here, folks. See what we had. Ooh, that looked like that took me straight to Dana Shepherd. Let's take a rewind here and see what happened. We'll change it over to a far chase view here. Let me get back on my camera here. Well, that's Shane Posey coming to the inside. There's a truck down on the apron. Oh, that happened up in front with the 024 of Everett Lane. Looks like he come down the track. Looked like maybe a little bit of net code right there. I think they were going to touch either way. Yeah, they were definitely going to make contact either way. That spins the 24 around. And that is Andrew Schroeder that we see right there. Looking to see if it collected anybody else. Brandon Pfeiffer going down to the grass. Of course, Dana Shepherd, Shane Posey right there. As 841 comes by and the 36 is Steve Luttrell. Does he make it through? Just barely makes it by Dana Shepherd. As Travis Elliott does get it shut down as Dana slides down towards the bottom of the track. Well, that's going to bring out our, I believe, third caution of the night. Fourth caution of the night. 13 lead changes so far as Dana's going to have to use a fast repair, looks like. Dana was going 200 mile an hour. But Dana did use his fast repair. Well, Bubba, now that you're home, you could always jump on. You're probably wore out, buddy, I'm sure. Well, like I said, our green flag sponsor, ChevyLand.com. Bubba Whittingham, the general manager down there at Chevyland. Of course, if you're in the market, be sure you look them up, ChevyLand.com. Check out their new and pre-owned inventory, and they will deliver in the lower 48 states. So if you can't make it to Shreveport, just let them know. They can actually have the vehicle delivered to you. And my buddy Eric out there got my back with the ChevyLand.com link there. How is everybody doing? Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Hey, thank you for your partnership with MaxspeedTV, Bubba. We sure do appreciate it. And for those that don't know, Bubba is a great guy, willing to help you. I've visited with him offline and, quite a bit here lately. Well, I think I would say that if you really needed some help with something, Bubba would be the first one that would offer to give you a hand. But he's just a great guy. I think the world of Bubba, as most of our drivers do as well. Just a class act. Always has some tips with iRacing, or if you need help getting something done, he's usually pretty knowledgeable. So big shout out to you, Bubba. Miss you out here tonight, buddy. Well, looking at our field right now, Hunter Reynolds is the leader. Stephen Miles in second. Nate Warren third. Alex Green in fourth. Adam Kilday in fifth. Doug Johnson in sixth. Logan York in seventh. Jimmy Reynolds in 8th. Stephen Luttrell 9th. Rick Seabrant's in 10th. Travis Elliott in 11th. Shane Posey in 12th. Nicholas Silk 13th. Stephen McGowan in 14th. Richard Coons 15th. Dana Shepard back to 16th. Christopher Lewis in 17th. David Stringle falling back to 18th after leading several laps. Andrew Zonto in 19th. C.J. Erdman in 20th. I'm looking back. Oh, where did that come from? Looking back through here, Sean Stevens is back here in 28th. As Anthony English comes around him, and Andrew Schroeder. Vicente Guerrero back here in 31st. Ron Walters in 32nd. Andrew Schroeder falling back to 33rd and 3 laps down. Well, happy birthday, Little Baker. Everett's little boy, little kid, I guess a little boy, officially turned 2 today. In those terrible 2s. Well, pace car will dive off down into the safety of pit road once again as they come into the restart area. Green flag, Chevrolet green flag, I should say, back out once again on the loud pedal. And for some reason I have no volume. Make sure I'm live, folks. I may not be live. I have no volume. Did you guys hear iRacing out there? There we go. Got to get my volume turned back up. Some reason it went. Got turned down on me. Yeah, they are a lot of work. Fortunately, all my kids are grown up. Don't have to worry about that. Now I get to spoil my grandbabies and send them back home to their mama. Hunter Reynolds out front, Adam Gilday battling out to the outside with Jimmy Reynolds right behind him in the 83 of Shane Posey. Adam Green getting a little bit squirty there. Well, guys, we're going to step aside for just a minute. We're going to go ahead and give this a little bit of crank it up. So hang tight. I will be back in just a few minutes here. So it's crank it up time here on MaxspeedTV. folks, we are back once again. Appreciate it. Hope everybody enjoyed that Crank It Up. I had a visit with my nephew a little bit. They're going to get the race pulled up on the big screen in the living room so they can watch all the action when they get that Crank It Up off of there. Adam Gildan has taken the lead right there with Hunter Reynolds. Cross over the start-to-finish line. Yeah, I noticed, Eric, that I had one camera that I didn't catch during the session. I usually get in here when the session loads up, make sure I get all my sound and stuff set. So you guys will have some pretty good sound and everything, so it's not overpowering. But for the most part, everybody seems to enjoy the Crank It Up. We get still having to get some things dialed in here. But yeah, they could have. I mean, it was right in coming at you. If you were watching this on 3D, you're probably jumping up out of your chair. But going through the field, now Jimmy Reynolds is battling Adam Kilday for the lead. Got Logan York right there, another one of our playoff drivers in the mix in fourth. Needs a good showing. He needs to win. He's actually above the cut line, but needs to have a good showing to make it into the Final Four next week. Getting winding down almost halfway through. Ooh, Logan gets a little bit wide. Was able to save it. Great save by Logan York. We caught that live right here on MaxspeedTV. But Adam Kilday is trying to get pushed out there in front of Jimmy Reynolds. Nope, this is Steve still, Rudy. Josh is at home recovered, resting. Yeah, Josh is definitely here with us in spirit. Logan York, Gabe Butler out on that outside line trying to get something going. Here comes that 151. That is Travis Elliott. Going to get right up on the bumper. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Rudy. We've been out here 13 laps, so we're going to probably see some green flag pit stops. Good thing, okay. These guys been out here 13 laps, so definitely going to be pit window is definitely open as you see Travis Elliott dropping down in front of Hunter Reynolds. Well, I know the sounds that late models made the other night sounded really good. They bypassed pit road once again, which we figured 12 to 15 laps if they were able to save fuel. Jimmy Reynolds currently your leader. Adam Kilday, Logan York, Gabe Butler, Travis Elliott, Hunter Reynolds, Nate Warren, Stephen Miles, Alex Green, and Rick Seabrand rounding out your top 10. As we watch these guys come into turns 3 and 4, will we see everybody come down pit road? The lap 45 of 100 complete. Here they come now. Everybody's going to be coming down. Gabe Butler opting to stay out. One more lap with Jimmy Reynolds. Let me get over here to the right screen. Adam Kilday, Logan York, Hunter Reynolds, Travis Elliott, Christopher Lewis, Richard Kuhn, Nicholas Self, Stephen McGowl. Showing Nate Ward, Gabe Butler currently leading. Oh, Richard Kuhn was the only one with the black flag, so he will have to come back in and serve that penalty. here comes this other group. Gabe Butler, Nate Warren, Stephen Miles. Get her locked down, boys. Peter DeBorgia, Alex Green, Rick Seabrands, Andrew Zonto, Stephen Luttrell, Brandon Piper, Nicholas Wing, CJ Erdman, John Carrera down, Nate Warren, here comes Stephen Miles coming back out. Stephen Miles, you're now your leader coming off of pit road. But you got to watch out for this pack because here they come. Here comes that first group that pitted, led by Jimmy Reynolds with Hunter Reynolds right behind him. And then Adam Kilday right behind Hunter. As they do have speed already up to track speed, race speed, I should say. They are coming around Stephen Miles at this time, so that's going to spread the field out a little bit. Yes, it is, Bubba. So after this race, we will cut to the final four. Of course, we're going to pull up the standings once again here. As you can see, Dustin Loxton is already in with the win last week. So they are trying to get a good enough finish for the guys below the cut line. That would be Rick Seabrands, Mark Mann. We'll need a good finish to get them above the cut line, but it's going to be tough. You know, Miles and Viper is pretty much a win and end type thing, a must win, I should say, for I think Steven and Brandon. It really just depends on where English and York and DeBorgia finish. You know, if Seabrands can make up enough points over Peter, he could jump up and knock Peter off of that cut line. So we just got to kind of wait and see what happens. Right now, Jimmy Reynolds is your leader with Hunter Reynolds. Now our first playoff driver is Logan York. He is currently in fourth. Stephen Miles in seventh. And then looking back, Rick Seabrands in 11th, Mark Mann in 13th, Peter DeBorgia 14th, and Brandon Viper back here in 15th, and then Anthony English is back here in 26th. Still a lot of laps to go as we're crossing over halfway mark. As we cross the line, we will be halfway through the race here. That certain camera angle looks like the cars are just floating on the track instead of wheels on the track. Jeremy out there joining us back in chat as I just spilled coffee all over my shirt. Apparently I got a hole in my mouth somewhere. So Bubba is saying at the halfway point, he is saying that it's going to be Loxton, English, and Seabrands. Well, the way Steven's been running, I think if he gets I think he is, my prediction, I think Steven is going to probably win this race. If he does, then that's going to probably put Loxton, him, English, and probably Seabrands. I think Seabrands is going to have to get enough finish to get him above that cut line and knock Peter DeBorgia out of the top four. Right now, Rick and Mark and Peter are 14, 15, and 16 as of right now. I said, I think I got a hole in my mouth, not in my shirt. But Nate Warren getting pushed out to the front there by the 088 of Gabe Butler. Brandon Pfeiffer right behind you. Now, Brandon is also a playoff driver. So he is I think him and Miles, it's a must-win situation in order to move on. Holy cow. Now, I did that with the barbecue sauce, Everett. I smoked up 2 pork loins today. Had one of them with head country seasoning, and then I did another one with what I call my Cajun seasoning. A little bit of Dijon mustard as a binder, and some what they call an olive rub. Turned out really good. As you see, that is the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, letting those guys go by. That's going to put Vicente down. Where is he at? He is actually the first truck a lap down. Looking back here in Everett Lane, this group back here, that is Shane Posey. On this group, we do have several groups battling it out. Looking back through here, the big group, as Richard Coon is going to go a lap down as well. Well, thanks, Bubba. I appreciate that. Hey, yeah, you are right. Next Friday is my birthday. I will turn the big 5-0. And I'm surprised I've made it this long. But here we go, folks. Nate Warren, your leader right now with Logan York. Now, Logan is actually above the cut line, if I remember right. So, you know what? I think I'm going to change my. I think it's probably going to end up being Loxton. My prediction to win tonight is Stephen Miles, York, and English, which is going to be your top 4. Mr. Ed DeBoer out there in chat. Good to see you, Ed. That's what I was telling the guys at work the other day. They said I was over the hill. I said, no, at 50, I'm at the peak. As Doc Holliday would say, I'm in my prime. Oh, I agree. York, even if York gets the top 10, he's still going to be in. So, like I said, it just really, whoever wins that's a playoff driver, is automatically going to be in. I'm pretty sure Anthony's going to tie up one of the spots. As Gabe Butler does move around, lets Casey Pfeiffer or Brandon Pfeiffer in front of him. Oh, Gabe is going to let Adam by as well. Adam's trying to close that gap with Brandon. Of course, between Brandon and Steven, it's a must-win for those guys. Well, thank you, Ed. I appreciate that, buddy. Mentally, I'm in my prime. Physically, my body's like, what do you think you're doing? know, mentally I think I'm still in my 20s, but my body tells me otherwise. Here we go, Brandon Pfeiffer dropping it down. Ooh, Adam thought about going down with him. Had the 16 and 8 Warren on his inside. Now, Brandon Pfeiffer is your leader, getting down on that inside line. There are trucks coming off. Nicholas Self has a black flag. Ooh, got to watch out for that lap traffic as the truck does go down into the grass. I think that was Jimmy Reynolds, as he is trying to get back towards the racing surface. These guys been out here 12 laps. Now here we go. Here comes Dustin Logston. Or not Dustin Logston, that's Logan York coming down pit road with Adam Kilday. Also Shane Posey coming down pit road as well. So 3 trucks down pit road. Get back up here towards the front. Brandon Pfeiffer, your leader. Right behind him is Nate Warren, and then Stephen Miles there in third. I figure these guys will be coming down this time by maybe one more lap, as we are lap 60 now. They're here they come. Here comes that big group we were talking about. Brandon Pfeiffer. Ooh, Nate Warren getting a little bit loose coming into pit road as the 111. That is, oh no, Vicente Guerrero going through the grass. Stephen Miles, Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds, Anthony English, Brandon Pfeiffer, Nate Warren, Gabe Butler, Nick Wing, Jimmy Reynolds. That's Travis Elliott as well. Looking back up to the front now, Alex Green. Here that comes this group. We're going to keep an eye. That's Alex Green, Mark Mann, Andrew Zonto, Rick Seabrands, Peter DeBorgia, all down pit road right now. We're on Nate Warren. This was that first group to come down. Want to see what happens here. Peter DeBorgia is going to take the lead. Now Peter is a playoff driver. He is the first truck above the cut line. Shane Posey coming around, getting his lap back. I believe he was a lap down. But here comes Nate Warren and crew. Got the run coming down the back stretch. Going to get around those guys that just coming off a pit road. Peter DeBorgia does get back out on the track safely. You'll see these guys migrate down to that lower line. Nate Ward led 3 laps, should be 4 laps led as we come across the start-finish line here. Brandon Pfeiffer in second, Hunter Reynolds third, Travis Elliott fourth. Travis Elliott is out on that outside line with the 85 of Adam Kilday. Now Gabe Butler runs up there trying to get into their draft as they come back by Shane Posey. Anthony English back here. He is currently a lap down. But Anthony's been a couple laps out here. Now Adam Kilday taking the lead away. Him and Hunter Reynolds drop down to that low line in front of Travis Elliott, Brandon Pfeiffer, Stephen Miles on that outside line. Kilday, Reynolds. That is Elliott and the 16 of Warren down on that inside line. Now Anthony's trying to come up through to get his lap back the hard way. Now caution comes out and Anthony is not involved. He will get the lucky dog because he is the first truck to lap down. The Hunter looked like peeking out, maybe trying to cool his truck off a little bit, peeking out to the outside of the 85 of Kilday. I know last night they said the trucks were getting a little warm, or getting hotter than what they normally do. We're coming up on the 04 of Mark Mann. Looking to pass him. That's going to put Mark a lap down. But Anthony's going to get around him. Mark trying to get with the draft here. Figure he'd probably drop back down to that inside line once Posey gets around him, or Posey's going to let him in, stay behind him. Looking back up towards the front, though, battle up here between Kilday and Pfeiffer. Stephen Miles and Pfeiffer on that outside line. Still trying to get something going out there. Miles dropping down just a little bit, maybe trying to get a little bit of air into that radiator to cool it off. He is right on the bumper of Pfeiffer right now, trying to push Brandon up towards the front. Kilday, Reynolds, Travis, Warren, English, York, Butler, all there on that low line. And there is the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. Mark Mann did take it up to that second lane. Still has the 83 Shane Rhodes behind him. Needs to close that gap a little bit to get Mark up there to those other guys. Mark Mann does get back around up towards the front, getting in that grab. Well, Jeremy, if you don't mind, buddy, I know you probably got the weather radar up. If you could take a look over in central Oklahoma, somewhere around the Oklahoma City area and east, they said that there was a storm supposed to be starting popping up here pretty soon with that. I think the crew that built 08 Daytona may have been drunk. I don't know. Good battle going on up here, though. Brandon Pfeiffer, Stephen Miles trying to get something going on that outside line. Of course, for these two guys, it's a must-win situation, I believe, for these two guys. But these non-playoff drivers aren't just going to give it to them. I mean, they're still out here to try to win a race. If not, then there wouldn't be any point into racing, would there? Everett, I would say that would have been, I'm trying to remember when Senior had his wreck. I think the biggest thing that caused NASCAR to look into safety would have been the Dale Senior wreck. I think after his wreck is when they started implementing the Hans device. We're watching these guys coming to lap 70, finishing lap 70 on lap 71 now. I think Bill Elliott still holds the track record at Daytona, don't he? As far as, well, I should say the old Daytona. Ah, gotcha. You know, I was a Bill Elliott fan too, years ago. Here we go, still at it. Hunter Reynolds getting a pretty commanding lead there on that inside line with Adam Kilday, Stephen Miles. Here comes Brandon Piper dropping it down to the middle, leaving Mark Mann hanging out to dry. So we got some more trucks coming down pit road. Trying to look to see, I believe that was David Stringle. Richard Kuhn coming down pit road right now. Andrew Schroeder still out there. Dustin Logston has taken his truck behind pit wall, as well as Everett Lane. Looks like he is done for the night as well. We'll get back up here on Hunter and this lead pack here. Coming out, 11 laps out right now. Kind of looking back through here, looking to see where everybody is at. Peter DeBorgia is that truck. Well, there's another one right behind him, but I believe that is a lap vehicle. I believe that is. .841 is Stephen McGowan. He is 2 laps down. John Herrera is 2 laps down as well. CJ Erdman is also 2 laps down. Dana Shepard back here a lap down by himself. Well, he's got a little bit of help behind him there with Nick Wing, Andrew Zonto, Alex Green. But they are going to go ahead and zip around Dana Shepard. There is Mr. Rick Seabrands, currently in 12th spot. Ron Walters back here by himself in 28. Sean Stevens and Doug Johnson coming out off of pit road. Doug almost over that yellow line. Got to be careful because you cross that yellow line coming off of pit road, that'll give you a black flag. And Nicholas Self 3 laps down in 29th. Let's get back up there on the front because we should be getting close to another green flag pit stop. They will have this one. They will have at least 2 more pit stops. Well, here they come. Stephen Miles dropping it down to the apron with Hunter Reynolds. That is Nate Warren, Gabe Butler, Travis Elliott, the 59 of John Guerrera. All coming down pit road right now. Anthony English as well. That's going to put Peter DeBorgia out front as your leader. Andrew Zonto, 11 seconds behind the leader. That is insane. But here comes Peter DeBorgia, Stephen Luttrell. That is, I believe, the 841 of Stephen McGowan. Here comes Zonto, Alex Green, Rick Seabrands, Stephen Miles coming off a pit, or I guess coming off a pit road, but here comes Adam Kilday. They're going to be catching up with Steven here really quick. Steven's going to probably try to get with these guys and stay with this group. he's able to stay in the draft. Peter is coming off of pit road right now, but Adam Kilday is not too far behind, as you can see on the screen there. Adam Kilday does take the lead over from Peter DeBorgia because they had the run, but Stephen Miles trying to catch up with that lead group. Not going to have the run to get around Peter because he's got the 36 Stephen Luttrell right behind him. If I was Stephen, I would drop down. There we go, behind Luttrell. Use them to catch back up with that lead group, then make a move. But Adam Kilday, your leader's led 10 laps already tonight. Got Brandon Pfeiffer right behind him. Of course, another playoff driver, Logan York. I did not know that, Bubba. Did not know that they were nearly blacking out from the G-forces and the E-cars on the ovals. That is crazy. That's a lot of G's. Right now, Adam Kilday, your leader. Brandon Pfeiffer second. Logan York third. Pete DeBorgia there in fourth. Stephen Miles in fifth. Hunter Reynolds back here in sixth. He's got Anthony English right there with him. Now Anthony is still a lap down. He will try to get that lap back as soon as he can, I'm sure. And Gabe Butler there in seventh. Travis Elliott in eighth. Leading this group with Nate Warren. That's another lap down, big over the 841 of Stephen McGow. And then Andrew Zonto with this group here. That is the number one. Actually, it's supposed to be the number 49, I believe, of 049 of Nick Wing. But Adam Kilday still out front. Nobody's really trying to make a move just yet. Still have quite a few laps to go. We bring up our caution ticker here. 4 cautions right now for 11 laps. We are at 22 to go. Be 21 crossing the line here with 32 lead changes. Mark Mann, Hunter Reynolds out on that outside line trying to get something going. As these guys come around the backstretch into turn 3 and 4, we cross the line. We will be at 20 to go. As Mark Mann is trying to get, how many laps is Mark down? Is Mark down? Mark is down 1 lap, so he's trying to get his lap back the hard way. As he is trying to get help to get around that 85 of Adam Kilday, and he does. So that puts Mark back on the lead lap in 18th spot. Adam Kilday, though, still your leader as Hunter Reynolds is falling back. Stephen Luttrell there on that second line. Here you got Adam Kilday, Brandon Pfeiffer, Logan York, 1, 2, 3. And then Peter DeBorgia right there in 4. Stephen Miles right behind Peter in 5th. Well, even if he gets a yellow, he's going to have to get around that 36 right there of Stephen Luttrell to be the first truck a lap down. yellow does come out, he can't be involved to get the lucky dog. He's got to get in front of that 36 machine of Stephen Luttrell as Peter DeBorgia makes a move to that outside in front of Luttrell. They're trying to get that 3-truck line on that outside going. Oh, no. No. We don't need that. We need this to go green, guys. We've been out here, the leaders. Peter DeBorgia now trying to battle with Adam Kilday for the lead. Adam is stuck behind Mark Mann. But Peter DeBorgia has 3-truck help. Now Brandon needs to get up closer to the 85. As the 36 of Stephen Luttrell goes up to that high side, 3 wide for just a second. Stephen Luttrell does bring it back down in line, but he is falling back. Stephen Miles makes a move to the outside, goes back down low. And Stephen needs to get up there. Get caught up with that lead pack. Again, I believe for Stephen and for Brandon, it would be a must win. Now, I have to agree with Bubba. If English does go a lap down, looking back at our standings, that's definitely going to put Logan York into the playoff mix. But I think he'll have enough to possibly. I don't know, because Rick Seabrand's back here in 12. So I don't know how they do their points, and I'm not going to speculate at this time. But Peter DeBorgia has taken the lead right there in front of Mark Mann. Puts Mark Mann back a lap down. Now Mark doesn't have to give them the spot. I mean, he is out here racing, and he is a playoff driver. So he does not have to give up that spot. He can still race as hard as he wants to. But Peter DeBorgia, Adam Kilday, Brandon Pfeiffer, York, Logan York, Stephen Miles, your top 5. Anthony English does get around the trail, but Mark Mann now being a lap down, that puts Mark Mann the first truck a lap down as Dana Shepard has a black flag down on pit road. As Vicente Guerrero is down on pit road as well. So we're going to look back here, get back out here on the front. With 15 to go, Peter DeBorgia is your leader. Been out here 10 laps. With 15 to go, now it's going to become a fuel strategy, pit strategy. When do you pit? 15 to go, you know, you can run 13, 14 laps. Do you give it 5 pit, 10 to go? Do you do it at 12 to go? Yes, they are, Bubba. Yes, they are. Right now, Peter DeBorgia looking to win and get into the round of 4. Brandon Pfeiffer, again, a must-win for him. Logan York, I believe, is going to have that one of the transfer spots if he finishes where he finishes. Stephen Miles, he could possibly, I don't know. Stephen Miles is staying out with Peter DeBorgia. Brandon Pfeiffer, Logan York, both of those guys coming down pit road. With 13 to go, if they 13 to go, they can definitely make it at this point. Looking back up here, Peter DeBorgia, Stephen Miles, you're 1-2. Of course, Steven, I think, is, like I said, it's a must-win for Steven. Pull this back up. He's 11 points down below the cut line. So I think it's a must-win for Steven tonight. And here comes that group, that big group down pit road. Mark Mann going to get his lap back. That's still going to put Anthony English a lap down. He'll be the first truck a lap down. As we get to the final few laps here, folks, it's going to be a drag race. So Stephen Miles, Peter DeBorgia, Rick Seabrand's down on pit road as well. Logan York right there behind Adam Kilday. Brandon Pfeiffer as well. Again, Brandon and Steven, I think it's a must-win. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Bubba. Like I said, I'm not sure how they tally the points, but with Miles and Pfeiffer being that many points down below the cut line, I really think it's a must-win for those two guys. Well, here we go. Stephen Miles is actually your leader right now. Got the 14 of Vicente Guerrero behind him, as well as Peter DeBorgia. With 12 to go, they can definitely make it the distance. But right behind them, you got Hunter Reynolds, the 44 of Anthony English. Then the 088 of Gabe Butler, closing the gap between him and Anthony. Coming to the line, we will be at 10 to go. These guys are coming into turns 3 and 4. Hunter Reynolds right behind Peter DeBorgia. The 44 of Anthony English right there as well. The 088 of Gabe Butler. Logan York is back here in 6th. Right behind Adam Kilday, and then Brandon Pfeiffer right behind Logan. Rick Seabrand's currently in 9th. Looking back through here, Mark Mann lap down right now with Stephen Luttrell right behind him, but they're catching up with that lead group again. As Hunter Reynolds and Gabe Butler go to the outside, Stephen Miles throwing up to the top line. Defending that lead. Steven does drop it back down to the low line with Vicente Guerrero right there with him. Side by side for the lead. Stephen Miles, Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Mark Mann, and Stephen Luttrell on that outside. Miles, Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorgia, and Anthony English running that inside. We're going to stay right here with 9 laps to go. What is going to happen? Again, my pick. Not really, shouldn't be able to pick, but the way Stephen Miles has been running here lately, he could win this race. As Hunter Reynolds does drop it down, that's going to get Gabe Butler into the outside with Mark Mann, Stephen Luttrell. They got Hunter Reynolds. That is the 8 of Stephen Miles, Vicente Guerrero, Peter DeBorgia, Anthony English down on that inside line. Coming down the back stretch into turn 3 and 4. Stephen Miles right on the bumper of Hunter Reynolds all the way through the corner. I don't know how these guys do it with all that bumpy road. But Hunter Reynolds does jump it back up in front of Gabe Butler. Vicente Guerrero right behind Stephen Miles. And here we go, 3 wide in, and Adam Kilday, Logan York, Brandon Pfeiffer to the outside. Oh, that got that got Logan loose. Back here, but great save by Logan. That left Adam Kilday outside by himself. Hunter Reynolds back and forth between that low line and that mid line. As Hunter jumps back up to the front. Vicente Guerrero pushing Stephen Miles. 7 to go. Or I should say 6 to go now. Hunter's defending that lead right now. Got Stephen Miles behind him and Vicente Guerrero behind Steven, Gabe Butler, Mark Mann, Stephen Luttrell, Adam Kilday, Logan York, Brandon Pfeiffer on that outside. Guys, it is going to be a drag race to the finish. I can tell you that right now. I may not have a voice by the time this is over. But Stephen Miles, or Hunter Reynolds, I should say, jumped back up to that second line. Vicente Guerrero down on that low line, trying to push Steven out to the front. As we come through the trioval, it's Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Mark Mann, one out on that high line right now. Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles, your top 3. We're coming up on some lap traffic. They're going to try to stay high, let these guys race around them. We are 5 to go right now. I'm already starting to lose my voice. Mark Mann trying to get a lap back the hard way. Now he is back on the lead lap. CJ Urban with the black flag probably coming speeding on pit road. We're going to keep our eye right here. Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Adam Kilday now in that 3rd spot. Stephen Miles, Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles low line. Then you got Mark Mann, Stephen Luttrell, Adam Kilday on that high side. And we are 4 to go, folks. We are winding it down. Are coming out of turns. Looks like 1 and 2. Maybe, nope, we're coming around 3 and 4. Back to the start and finish line here, folks. Gonna be 3 to go at the line. Ooh, Stephen Luttrell going down to the door of Hunter Reynolds. Mark just trying to survive here, stay on the lead lap. We are 3 to go at this point. It's anybody's ball game. Definitely don't want to see that dreaded flag that everybody don't want to talk about right now, especially me. As Mark does jump back up to that high side, we got smoke in the air. No caution though. As we come back to the line, we will be at 2 to go. Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles on the inside. Outside, Mark Mann, Stephen Luttrell, and Adam Kilday, as well as 2 other playoff drivers. That is the 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer and the 91 of Logan York. Of course, on the inside is that 44 of Anthony English, but Anthony is a lap down. We are 2 to go, coming around turns 1 and 2. Going to come down to the back stretch here. I do believe. Oh, we are back on the front stretch, coming to the trioval. Make it to the line. It'll be a white flag in the air, folks. White flag in the air, so no matter what, whatever happens now is going to happen. There will be no GWC attempt. Hunter Reynolds on the inside with Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles. Outside is Mark Mann, Steve Luttrell, Adam Kilday. The 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer. Now Brandon, them taking a 3 wide. Unfortunately, Stephen Luttrell bounced off the wall. That's going to disrupt Brandon's run, as we are loose back here with Adam Kilday, Mark Mann. Here comes Stephen Miles to the outside. Hunter Reynolds throwing a block. Who's going to get it? Stephen Miles goes up high, comes back down. Looks like Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Stephen Miles, your top 3. Well, let's get back here. We're going to get a rewind and see exactly where they finished at. ATVO was telling me Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, and Stephen Miles, 1, 2, 3. And that's what I'm seeing right there. Well, hang tight, folks. We're going to step aside, get our top 3 up here for our post-race interview. We will be back in just 1 second. All right, folks, we have caught up with our top 3. We're going to get on Mr. Stephen Miles here, and we'll get him down to the booth for the post-race interview. Mr. Stephen Miles, congratulations, buddy. You had a pretty good run tonight. You started 4th, finished 3rd. A lot of action there at the beginning, but really good race tonight, especially for 34 trucks that we had out on the track tonight. Man, how was it out there tonight for you?
It was pretty much business, man. I know coming in here is gonna be a long shot after last week to even try to make the Final Four, and I didn't want to leave nothing on the table, so I pretty much was telling myself to stay up front, be aggressive, and be ahead of everything. And that's pretty much what we did, man. I don't think we fell outside the top 8 or 10 there, unless we were saving fuel. But it was bumpy. It was pretty calm up front with us. I know in the back it was kind of wild at first, but we knew once we got a green flag run in and separated the field and spread out a little bit, we was gonna be able to have some green flag runs. So that was pretty much what I was trying to do, is get green flag pit stops, good green flag pit stops, and be there at the end, have a shot, and I pretty much did that, so I'm proud of it.
Well, definitely a good race for you, man. I'm not sure how the point system works. We'll have to wait and see what Anthony says on the Final Four. But I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you might have squeezed in above Peter, but we'll have to wait and see what the point standings. But I'm pretty. I know for Brandon though, it was a must-win situation for him.
Yeah, I think I was too. I think they got me by a point or 2 or whatever, because mistake from last week I knew it was gonna be hard to overcome. So with these guys, how consistent they are, especially Peter and Rick and those guys right there on the bubble. I knew we was gonna all be up there, so I pretty much knew I had to win. So even if I did, but if I do, we're gonna go at it. But if we don't, just give it another shot next year, man. Proud of the team and everybody. So yeah, that'll be it.
Well, man, it was a great season for you. I believe, you know, you did. I think it was you that got the season regular points championship, which is awesome job. You had a great season all year. You know, didn't get your first win till the first round of the playoffs, but hey, you know, it's a win's a win, right?
Yeah, win's a win. I kind of felt like it was gonna be something like this, coming off a record season like I did last season, break all the records I did. But yeah, they're right there, man. I know I'm gonna look back on it and see what else I could have done. I really don't think I had anything else. I just know the lap cars was up there covering the lane, and I had Vince behind me, and I wish I could have got him clear with me. But yeah, we just go ahead and take it to the chin and move on and be better from this.
Well, brother, awesome season, man. Great racing. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Steven. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, brother. Any final thoughts, shout outs, things you want to give?
Man, big shout out to you, man. You're doing a hell of a job, man. And I know how it is, and long nights and a lot of broadcasting or whatever. But you're holding strong, and we just hope Medlock is fine. No, he went back to the hospital, but just keep him in our prayers for fast recovery, man. Just to keep him on the right path for the fastest recovery as fast as possible. And appreciate the admins and everybody that run this league and been keeping it going on for so long, and you see why. And appreciate my teammates, Vincente and Josh, Nightmare Esports, my mom, my dad, and my girlfriend for watching and supporting me. And most of all, man, thank God, and that'll be it.
All right, brother. Well, go celebrate, man. I know we've got one more race. You can still go out there and get you another win on the season. But awesome job tonight. We'll wait and see what the points look like. And, man, hopefully we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Well, that is going to get us, if I could get on his name over here. Well, that's going to get us on our second place finisher, Mr. Gabe Butler. Gabe, man, awesome job tonight, dude. You know, you started back at the back of the pack, and you just worked your way up. Right place, right time. Let's talk a little bit about the track conditions out there. I know it was pretty warm to start the race, and not sure if that really changed a whole lot through the race. I think it dropped a few degrees. How was the track? How was pit road? Let's talk about that a little bit, bud.
Pit road was definitely pretty slick once you got into your box. Even getting into your box, I slid my box a few times, and I even warmed the brakes before getting there, and I still slid through. So that was like super slick. But I think the end of the race, the track was like 118, 117, and the humidity was 44. So it was really difficult to keep your truck cool. A lot of us were having trouble keeping our trucks cool, but we were able to get it done at the end, get Hunter to win. So it was a lot of fun, man. I mean, the beginning of the race was a bit of a nightmare, but you know, 4 cautions, 100 laps, 08 Daytona in the trucks. I mean, that's pretty good job on behalf of all the drivers.
Well, you know, '08 Daytona, doesn't matter what vehicle you're in, it's always a workout. It's a track that I wish, I'll say it again. I wish iRacing would do a live stream and just bulldoze '08. I am not a fan of this track. But it does bring out the best drivers. I mean, if you're, to me, it makes you a better driver, especially with all the bumps.
Yeah, you've got to take that into account. I think the only issue right now with this track is the ARCA car, the legacy ARCA car. It's got a glitch where it looks like people are actually hitting the wall, but the rest of the vehicles seem to be okay. But like you said, it's your father's Daytona type of thing, you know.
Right.
But I mean, it is fun. It's kind of a love-hate type of relationship with this track. You know, you do well at it, you love it, and you don't do well at it, you hate it. So you just kind of have to find a happy medium there. I mean, right tonight I like it. Next week I might hate it. So.
Well, man, you had a great season. I mean, everybody, the whole season has been really good. You know, like we were talking about the cautions, you know, started early, kind of worked things out. Everybody kind of settled down a little bit, especially when you only got one fast repair. That makes it a little bit tough to be a little more aggressive, especially at bumpy Daytona. You don't want to. To me, I never try to get real aggressive here at all. It's just to me, it's just a horrible track. But like you said, it's a love-hate relationship with '08. But you know, not quite probably the season that you wanted to be able to maybe be in the playoffs. But you know, there's always next season, brother. So what you got for them next season?
Well, I think this is my second time running the Saturday series. The number of years I've been in, as long as I've been in OP. So yeah, I mean, I'll try it again next season and give it a shot. But I was gonna say too, like tires are super important here. Myself and Hunter took right sides, and we lost the leaders there just a little bit on that final pit stop, but we were able to pick them back up pretty easy. We were really fast in the corners. So I think those tires helped us out at the end there. But yeah.
So just to ask you, would you on this track would you recommend taking 2 or taking all 4?
If it's under green, you're just going to completely lose the pack with 4 tires.
Gotcha.
Either take lefts or rights. It was really wearing out the right sides, and we decided on the last stop to take rights because that was going to be our final opportunity to do so. And I think it really worked out for us. We were, like I said, we were able to catch the pack, we were able to get around them, and we were able to maintain control of the truck pretty well. Wasn't as slick as just taking lefts, but yeah, I think it worked out. It was a good decision. We got one P1, P2 out of it. So.
Well, yeah, obviously it worked out for you. Like I say, you started 23rd towards the back, kind of towards the back of the field, but worked your way back up the front. Awesome job. It's always fun watching you guys get out here, wheel it up. You know, a lot of times I wish I was still out there with you, but you know, got to do what we got to do to keep us going. But we're going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, Gabe. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give, buddy?
I've shout out to everybody at OP, all the drivers tonight for a great job, all the admins for all the work they do. Of course, you, Steven, up in the booth there, MaxspeedTV. You guys do an awesome job broadcasting these races. You do great analytics on it. And shout out to the guys I ran with tonight. There's too many to name, but they know who they are. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it.
All right, brother. Well, go celebrate your P2 finish tonight, and go get you some rest, and we'll see you soon, bud.
All right, man. Thanks.
Well, all right, folks. That's going to bring us to our winner tonight, Mr. Hunter Reynolds, our pole sitter, actually, and end up taking, well, basically green to checkered. I mean, you led 28 laps. Not much more you could really say, Hunter, other than congratulations, bud.
Man, appreciate it. That's not a bad night right there, man. We got the pole, got the win. Yeah, pretty good one.
Well, let's talk about the last few laps. I know, you know, there's a couple of drivers that we think was a pretty much a must win. That was with Stephen Miles and Brandon Pfeiffer. You know, Stephen finishing third. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get him above the cut line or not. Looking through the field, though, because Brandon finished 6th, Peter finished 7th. Logan pretty much locked his spot up into the playoffs. Anthony finished a lap down, so don't know if that's going to be enough to get him into or above the cut line. But what was your thought process as far as do you? I know you don't want to let anybody win, but if he had the run on you, got in front of you. Would you have pushed him up through, or just kept pushing him through for the win, or what would you have done?
I mean, yeah, I didn't come in here thinking about the points battle too much. Yeah, if someone gets in front of me, man, I just push them, you know. Even if I got a teammate or something up there, I don't like to lift off and do all that stuff. So yeah, especially I'm not a playoff driver, so if you get in front of me, heck yeah, I'll push you. I got nothing else to do, so yeah, I would have pushed him for sure, but man, when you're coming out of turn 4 and you're the lead, you get all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So I went for that sucker.
Well, it's like I was telling our viewers. Everybody's out here to win a race. That's what we out here for. That's what we want to do. Everybody wants to get that W. You're just not going to give it to anybody, regardless if you're a playoff driver or not. Everybody wants to have that win under their belt, but that just shows. And I'm saying this as man to man here. That just shows the class of the drivers that we have in this league. They're not going to wreck you to keep you from advancing or getting a win, but they're not going to let you have it either. They're going to race you hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why we all come out here and race each other as hard as we do. It just means a little more around here. I feel like all these drivers are super good, talented. We're all competitive with each other, and yeah, man, it's just like I said, you come out here to get a win, and thankfully I was able to do that tonight. And tough competition, man, week in and week out. Just hope you can show up and get her done.
Absolutely. Well, one more thing I want to talk to you about. Now, Gabe was talking about tires that you guys took right sides, and he said that he felt like that kind of helped y'all, especially at 08 Daytona. Tires do wear a little bit quicker here, but the track temp being 122, high humidity, that's going to wear on the tires a little bit more.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gabe made an excellent call there. I was following him all the way. I give him 100% credit for that call. He said, "You know what? Our right side's getting worn. I'm gonna take some." And I said, "All right, I'm right there with you." And we had a slower stop because of it, but we were able to regroup and push back up there. And there was a couple moves at the end I don't think I would have been able to do on them old tires. I think it was a race or two ago. I can't remember, but I had some old tires on the right sides and actually almost wrecked myself trying to make a move. So yeah, it's great call by Gabe there. And then the final stop, we took left side tires, and we were ready to go for that final stretch.
Well, awesome job, buddy. I mean, taking pole, getting checkered. Can't ask for a better night than that. So we're going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you, Hunter. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
Yeah, appreciate it. I do want to say sorry to Vincente and whoever I messed up there at the beginning. Thought I was clear. I'm still getting used to my mirror at the moment. A little more than I thought I was, actually. So my fault on being indecisive there. I'll get better for you guys. All the drivers out here racing, appreciate all you guys for showing up and making this league what it is. Steven up in the booth, do a great job as always. Love watching it at the end. Thanks to all the guys at Buttkicker. Shout out to Gabe for that good call, my dad for racing, and appreciate everybody who shows up watching. We appreciate all you guys too.
All right, brother. Well, go celebrate. I know we got CFM tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll see you there, but if not, we will see you next week, buddy.
Yep. Hey, I'll be there. You should see me, so I'll catch you later.
All right, brother. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that is going to bring us to our unofficial results, pending any admin stuff that they got to do. Hunter Reynolds is your winner tonight. We're going to go ahead and get that bottom off of there. Gabe Butler there in second. Stephen Miles third. Logan York finishing fourth tonight. Adam Kilday in fifth. Brandon Pfeiffer in sixth. Peter DeBorgia finishing seventh. Rick Seabrands in eighth. Travis Elliott ninth. Alex Green finishing up with a top 10 finish. In the 11th is the 16 of Nathan Warren. In the 12th is the 001 David Stringle. The 13th, Jimmy Reynolds had a better night than he did last night at the special race, so good to see him back up into the top 20. Had a pretty rough start, but he finished out, led 6 laps, so not a bad night. Sean Stevens, the 27 machine, finishing 14th. Mark Mann finishing 15th. Anthony English 16th. Stephen Luttrell 17th. Doug Johnson in 18th. Dana Shepard 19th. Andrew Zonto in 20th. The 049 of Nick Wing finishing 21st. Stephen McGow 22nd. Ron Walters in 23rd. Nicholas Self finishing 24th. John Guerrero finishing 25th. 26th. Vicente Guerrero and 27th, the 963 of C.J. Erdman. In 28th to 48th, Andrew Schroeder. The 29th is the 978 of Christopher Lewis. Excuse me. In 30th, the 83 of Shane Posey. Finishing 31st, Everett Lane. In 32nd, Richard Kuhn. 33rd, Dustin Logston. Dustin's already into the Final Four, so we'll see him next week. And 34th is Zach Payne. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on MaxspeedTV. Now, tomorrow night we will be live again. Checker Flag Motorsports Speedway Monkeys. And I'm going to pull this up real quick. I'll tell you exactly where we're at. Let's see. Tomorrow night is the 30th. We will be at Atlanta in the trucks tomorrow night, right here on MaxspeedTV. I'm looking to see if there's some stuff going on. But, yeah, right here, MaxspeedTV, 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern. That's going to do it again for us tonight here on MaxspeedTV. Stephen Lane wishing everybody to stay safe tonight, especially if you're in the storm area like I am. But stay safe. Have a good night. Oh, and before we leave, a special shout out to Rich C. Brands for sponsoring tonight's race, the Yeti 250, here at 08 Daytona. But until tomorrow night, folks, have a good night. Stay safe. And we will see you soon.